went with them.
Well, they are good. They're nearby, and every seed I bought from them, they always do great.
Oh, I have some I have to plant now. I'm so late on planting my indoor seeds.
We are recording.
Recording.
Hi.
Well, I just figured I'd start now. I can edit the front part off and everything.
Hey, we were talking about seeds. It's all good.
Yeah.
What
Hey,
seed are
everybody.
you
Everyone.
Welcome to No Borders Homesteaders. I am joined today by Annie, Mahilin, and Remy.
So you're invaded by Canadians tonight.
Yeah.
I'm honoring. Oh, I got the wrong shirt on. I got
French
this
Canadians.
for signing up for a $5 a month Vet TV subscription, which they have some really strange humor. I don't remember the military being quite like they portray it, but it's comedy, it's dark humor, stuff like that. It's to help vets cope with separating from the military. But I do have an honorary Canadian shirt that Lynn got me and made me.
I remember that you got it at the convention last year.
Yeah.
Yep.
Which has already happened this year. When this video comes out, May the 4th has already been with us.
Yes.
And I can tell you right now, it was fun.
Yeah.
Yep. I'm sure.
I had a blast. Do you remember when Daryl did that thing with the thing?
Yeah.
Oh, it was crazy. And then Annie was laughing, and then Marilyn was laughing, and everyone was laughing. It was like crazy.
Yeah.
Oh,
The
Annie
how the
went.
poutine
Annie
was
and Marilyn
so
went
good.
nuts. That was crazy. Went swimming in the lake in the middle of the night.
There was a lake? I forgot that part.
Outside of the cottage.
How did you drink?
Well, we are making jokes, but I do remember the lake. It was an epic morning coffee with the lake.
Yes. Morning coffee. It is so beautiful. And last year I didn't hear a whole lot of loonies, but I heard not loonies. Loonies is a coin, dummy. Loons. I love that when you go camping like in the Adirondacks and stuff near on the ponds and the lakes, the loons wake you up and you can hear them at night.
I like how you look at a lake and everything wakes up. So
Yeah.
in May, the mornings are like very chilly. So like you see that steam over the lake, and then the sun hits it, and then like you see the nature waking up, the flowers opening, and it's like it starts small, and then you're drinking your coffee and you're like soaking all of that in. It's like an epic moment.
Yeah.
For them who wake up at 6 o'clock.
Well, we did wake up early.
Yeah, of course. We had to be early at the conference.
Like I think you woke me up. It was like 6:30.
I think it was before that. I always wake up alone at 6.
Yeah, she wakes up around my time. And I wake up early, New Brunswick time, so imagine.
I hit the snooze button around 6.
I don't remember that part. All I remember is I woke up in survival mode, and it was like coffee. I need coffee.
Well, I think Darren has guaranteed a Keurig machine there.
Yeah.
The coffee was good last year. Caramel.
Someone brought caramel.
It was Tracy that brought that,
yeah,
right?
I brought the nutty caramel duos. I'm going to try to bring some this time, too.
I no longer have a Keurig this year, so if I either bring the cream, the sugar, or if you guys are bringing coffee, I have to figure out. Like, I just realized it's in 10 days. I'm leaving in 10 days.
Right? It's crazy.
Yeah, and usually my garden is like prepped, flipped, ready to be transplanted, and the week before I run like a chicken with no head, and like go everywhere, and I'm like, oh my god,
how did that go?
The only thing I have done so far in terms of gardening is I took the tarp that was I did the mistake of taking my tarp down, like the tarp that goes over my greenhouse, like the plastic cover. I made a mistake of putting that down because I didn't want the wind and the snow to tear it apart. But what happened was even worse. I mean, it was mice poop, holes. It's it's not that bad. It's salvageable, but there is a lot of holes. So I have to go and buy some duct tape. The red tape.
Yeah, it's
So the
red tape.
light keeps going through, but at the same time, it's very sticky, and
Yeah.
I have to
You know
figure out a
greenhouse
way.
tape exists, right?
What?
You know that greenhouse tape exists?
Greenhouse tape?
Mm-hmm. It's a thing.
It's a clear tape you
Green?
put on your plastic.
Like that? That's how you write it?
I don't know, but yeah, I figure it's like that. Yeah,
Oh, it does make sense.
House tape. I'll
I
put it on
bought
my
it on Amazon last year.
Okay, so I have to check that out as soon as we're done.
Yeah.
But that's the only
And
thing I have done. But I can see the difference in temperature regardless because it's up. I still have I want to fortify the whole greenhouse, make it more sturdy, and I think I can. What I should do, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, but I should just take some of the seeds that I want to start early, plant them straight in the greenhouse. They'll
Well,
come out
it
whenever they're ready.
depends. It depends of your nights.
Well, it gets cool. We still have like -3, -4. It's gonna get better, but I mean, I think the seeds, especially for the herbs, whatever I have perennials for my area, the seeds will start growing whenever they're ready.
So anything perennial for your area should do great.
Hmm.
But I would not do basil
No,
because the temperature at night
I
drop
have that
the
started
same thing.
inside already.
I'm sorry?
I have that started inside already.
Okay. Because a greenhouse will have higher temperatures during the day, but at night it needs something to retain the heat. So if you have nothing to retain that heat, if it's -3 outside, it's probably going to be around -3 inside of your greenhouse,
Especially with a bunch of holes I have in there. Yeah.
especially with the holes. So if
and
there's windshield and you have an opening, part of the wind is coming in. So if it's -3 outside and it's -10 with the windshield, part of that windshield will come in through those holes. So that temperature -3 can go up to 5, 6, -6, minus depending of how big the holes are and how the wind is strong.
Hmm.
I tried to do a greenhouse in my greenhouse this year, and I bought a bunch of thermometers to check at some place. So with a minimum, maximum little bar, and all the thermometers are scrap. They
oh
don't
no.
work,
That's not fun.
I have one
and
here that I want to try.
so I can't
Well, it
can't
works.
know for sure if it's getting cold or not in the during the
I
night.
I got one. So the sonde. I don't know how to say that in English. So you
Prob
have 3 sensors, sonde, I think it's what it's called. And I had mine for 4 years. Mine died because there was too much water going in. But I was able to put like one on top, one under my row covers, and one just on the soil. And I had a motherboard or mother thermometer. I would have the temperature of my seedling room and then the three temperatures, so top, bottom, and under the row covers, and it was either Fahrenheit or Celsius. I really love that one. It just took too much
that's what
water.
I wanted, but it's too far from the house to read it.
Okay.
The sensor won't the sensor
Ooh.
won't catch. So
Didn't
I
Tracy have
had
one
the
that's on your
normal one.
phone?
Sorry?
Yeah.
Tracy had one on his phone last year.
Yeah,
I
but
and
still too
I
far.
used it in the pantry. I used it in the greenhouse, and it's Bluetooth. Now I still have to go. Whoa! I still have to go. My chair just popped, but I still have to go get close, get within a certain range of the thermometer.
Okay.
but then it automatically downloads. And let's see if I can open it
I
here.
could do that, but I mean,
It's Govee. I
how
have a
to go
video on
on
it,
the real time during the night?
Oh,
and it,
I was gonna
yep,
say I have the exact same one as you, Tracy.
yep.
I put the
Um,
comment in the private chat there.
Is it possible for you to put like a Wi-Fi booster in your
Yeah, we checked it, and even if you put a Wi-Fi booster, it won't do any difference because between here and the greenhouse there's a gazebo, so
Mhm.
it's already cut the Wi-Fi, and
no.
it won't do anything good.
Okay, that's fine. Well,
This
I'm
one,
sure if you go into the Facebook group, oh, that's cool.
yeah, you can do. This is on. You can do the hour, day, week, month, and year. Uh, it
Nice.
it downloads them and keeps it. You got the humidity, dew point, VPD. I'm not sure what that is. Um,
VPD.
but it's like you can see um, it got below. I think my thing is set at 63 or something like that. It got below where that red is there
Yeah.
in temperature, below where I want, and it's Fahrenheit and Celsius. The highest. This is for the chicken coop when I used it for the chicks. The highest it got was 36 in there. It got quite warm.
Well, I could have that. It would be at least I would have the information.
You won't know live, but at least you'll be able to track
Yeah,
it.
Well, yeah, it still tells you. I mean, if you step outside, like if you go outside within range, you can check it and it will give
yeah.
you the live readings. Um,
Well, it's better than
Yeah, I
not
think
having the data.
it keeps 24 hours at a time, if I remember correctly, Tracy. Right? Because I have the same one.
yep, yep. You can check it every day. Sometimes it keeps more than that. Like it's the battery in the actual thermometer unit that was in with the chicks has been dead, and I haven't cleaned it off yet, so I can change the batteries yet. I want to put it out in the chick scoop again, but they're messy. Um,
Are you are you like neglecting that task deliberately?
yeah,
No?
yeah. It's
Slightly, right?
it's a poo-poo thing.
Yeah. Well, they are disgusting. That's part of the like they're cute for like a week ish,
Yeah,
and then it gets old fast.
yeah, yeah. And then you, I'll be. I was when I moved them from the over by the wood stove over to the in the living room because I wanted them to start getting used to it being a little cooler. Um, I'd be sitting there watching TV, and all of a sudden, I'd
Yeah, the whiff.
time to time to change it. Time to change the bedding.
I just one of my friends needs help for her quail operation, so I'm raising quails for her, and she's gonna come pick up the eggs and incubate them. All I have to do is maintain them, and for the summer, at the end of the summer, we process the males and reduce the female population by 50, and I'm gonna keep 50% of that all winter and then incubate. So I'm building that with her, and they were so cute the first week. Oh my god, they were cute, and the kids would hold them, but at the end, I had to change their little pen every couple of hours. It was disgusting. So at one point, I was like, "That's it. I have like a little cage, like a tent cage." So I
Yeah.
just dumped there and there during the day. I would put them outside, and then grab the tents by the top during nighttime. Grab them up. You should like they were like not happy at all. And then I would bring them back inside. And then as soon as like the first light outside would like shine through and it was like maybe 0 2 degrees Celsius, I had a closed in pergola. I would just dump them outside, like out. I was so happy to put them in cages at the beginning of the month of April. Oh my god, it was like it was so overdue. Yeah.
So
I don't know.
tonight's subject is supposed to be about perennials.
Yeah,
Yes.
well, seeds or
Right.
perennials? What did we choose?
Perennials.
Perennials, my bad. Well, we can talk about seeds and perennials because some perennials
Yeah.
can be
Quite
different.
honestly, we could do a mixed bag. Whatever you guys want. It's dealer's choice. We
Dealer's
because
choice. This is fun. Wild
yes.
card.
Yeah. Um yeah, I lost $10 at poker a few nights ago. It's $5 a game, so it makes it interesting because $5 is $5, and in this economy, I'm cheap. But so it makes it interesting. There's something to win and there's something to lose, but um, so yeah, that's where I got the dealer's choice.
No worries. So, do you have prepared questions or we just blab
We
on?
can just wing it. I walk through. I'll have a video coming out probably Friday. Um, and I was telling Marty Lynn before you guys showed up that my let's see, my rhubarb is coming up. My uh
Comfrey.
comfrey is coming up. My catnip is already a nice little plant, but my I can't find my asparagus plants. They're not even poking through yet. And Darren had asparagus. I think it was it. I don't know if it was store bought asparagus wrapped in bacon.
Oh yeah, that looked
Well,
good.
I think he picked
it is asparagus, but in the greenhouse.
Oh, okay. I need to get another greenhouse and actually.
So I have two of my
the
asparagus plants that are up, and the third is popping up. My other asparagus all over my property. So I have purples that are in pots, I have purples that are in ground, and I have green ones that are in the ground. None of them are up. But I think I'm trying to understand what's the difference between the one in my raised beds and the one in pots and the one in the soil. So is it that the soil temperature was hotter in my raised beds and the sun was shining directly on that?
It might be.
And maybe the ones that I didn't transplanted in a gallon. So I had like those pots that are about this big. I had one plant per. They're not popping back up. So maybe those are dead.
It's a possibility because whenever you have plants, if you keep them in pots, there's always a chance the root might freeze and die. And that's
Yeah.
one of the reasons you have to put them in soil. Like if you go to the nursery, they might have a bunch of plants there, trees, shrubs, whatever, that they didn't sell during the year. And they might take them back outside, like for sale the next spring. But they will usually put them all together and try to put some straw or wood chips or anything like that, a tarp or anything to keep the roots as warm as possible. And
I
it's
actually
hard. It's not
I
easy, but
buried some of my pots and I took them out last week. So in my food forest, I just built an L-shaped raised beds, and I didn't have time to plant everything, and I didn't want to commit, so I just took the pots and buried them. Most of my berry bushes are coming back, but the asparagus don't seem like they're doing anything. So I could have to go buy another set of crown of
Well,
asparagus.
could it be
Oh,
the cultivar of asparagus
Could
have
be, could
different
be.
uh spawn? Because I know that asparagus is it's one of the first things that comes up in the spring, the first things you can harvest in the spring, because after all winter, you need that dense nutrients that asparagus has.
Yeah. Well, I could have lost the ones in pots, but like losing a 15 feet row, so
Yeah.
that's I probably have like 15 plants there. That's odd. So
Yeah,
yeah. They will probably pop out later.
yeah.
because my row is about 10 feet long, and maybe 2.5 feet wide, and there's nothing poking up yet.
Did you plant
Go ahead.
asparagus?
No.
Did you plant asparagus, Rahabi?
Me?
Yeah.
I had like 3 plants last year, just because I bought them from the mental hospital. The young people there were doing like a little activity fundraiser for the patients. So I purchased like 3 of them because that's all that were left. I have some planted from seeds in my grow room right now. They're doing actually pretty well. And I made a video not too long ago about the roots you can buy. When you go to the store, you buy the whole
The
root
bare
system.
roots. Yeah.
But it's a gamble because you never know how long they've been on the shelves. And if they've been on the shelves for too long, there's a chance it might already be dead by the time you buy them.
Yeah.
So
Didn't
the
I
best
send
thing
you
to do.
home with some seedlings of asparagus last year?
Nope. Not that I remember anyway.
I know I know I brought asparagus last year to the conference.
I ate one from your garden raw.
Yes. Those are the ones that are popping back up. So, and they're big. Like, I don't know if you saw the community tab post I made. I cannot believe. So this picture is taken on April 16th. I don't know if you
Oh,
can
wow.
see. Those are the one in my raised bed.
Wow.
So I started these from seeds the first year I was here. So 2018. So those 3 plants are my oldest seedlings.
So
So
those, according to Tracy, they're about 6 inches.
So
what did
it's
I
been
miss?
6 years.
So it's year 6. So I think I know that when you start them from seeds, they say you can start harvesting tiny ones at year 3, but to hold off till like year 7, 5, 7.
Oh, I still have a while to go.
Yeah. So I'm hoping that this year is the year that I can actually harvest most of them.
How many stems do you keep on the plant?
What do you mean?
How many stems do you let grow?
So at this point, I only harvested like maybe 2, 3 per plant, and I let the entire everything go to seed every year. So I never really harvested anything for the first years. I started harvesting here and there last year for the first year. So it should be a somewhat acceptable year for those, I'm guessing, because it's year 6.
I try to keep at least 2 or 3 stem per plant to let grow, 2 or 3 big stem.
To let go to seed every year?
Yeah, well, not seed, but flower. Yeah,
Okay.
because
Well, when I mean go to seed is like let them grow and do their thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, yeah, because you got to keep the roots alive too.
Yeah,
if
that's
you
it.
cut everything, it would.
It's like
Well, it's the energy they need to
Fiddlehead?
Fiddlehead.
Yeah, usually go like 1/3.
Yeah.
Well, I always leave some because like there's times that I come to harvest them and I miss the window.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just gonna let go that one because like I know that it needs a couple of shoots to survive, so I always do that. But I know that if I had to restart asparagus, I would establish like more than one bed, and I would have invested a lot more in asparagus because I didn't know it was going to take that long.
Oh yeah, and I think I plant asparagus every year now. I sow asparagus every year. I have a bed, my oldest bed. Like we are here from 15. I think we made it on 16. No, 17. We planted it. So they are at their 7th year now. I have about 20 plants there, and I have some purple one that I tried. They're doing okay. but I try to sow asparagus kind of everywhere.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah, well, why
it's
not?
awesome to be able to go out and pick a spear and just when you pick it at just the right length, I mean, sometimes when you get like the pickled asparagus or the stuff from the store, if you wait just a little too long, the bottoms of them get real stringy.
Yeah.
Um,
The window of opportunity for asparagus is slim,
Yeah.
yeah,
Hmm.
yeah.
but
But
it's
the
definitely
pea
on.
smell weird for about a month. For
You
about a
what?
month. The pea smell weird.
Hi. Yeah, my kid said that to me this week. I love asparagus. Like, and if I could, I would eat it all the time. And we went to Costco, and there was some in. Usually, I ration. I only do 1 pound, but now, like, I did a pound and a half. And Cedric, the little one, said, "Mama, my pee smells weird." From a 7-year-old, I was like, "Oh, that's so cute."
But we're all there talking about asparagus, and like, I mean, it's an incredible plant to have because
Yeah,
it
it's a
provides
classic.
food year after year after year, pretty
For like
much forever.
25 years.
Yeah, but they will eventually, like, if you do like Maryland's doing, like, I mean, they're a perennial. They will, even if you lose some, you'll plant some more, and eventually it'll just keep going, and the seeds are going to fall, and they'll end up growing back. And that's the fun part about perennials. And when you talk about perennials, you talk about it could be herbs, it could be fruits, it could be trees, shrubs, and they're all amazing. And if I was to start back my homestead, like if I started back from when I bought the house in 2010, that's probably one of the first thing I would do is buy a bunch of perennials, any kind of perennials, because I was I was doing like the garden stuff. I was looking around my property to try to find some of the stuff I planted, and I ended up finding this weird purple flower, and turns out that it was chives that I planted like 10 years before, and I didn't even know what it was. And I'm like, oh, that's chives. I have chives on my property, like, and it started spreading everywhere. And I mean, I'm not eating it because that's the dog spot. Um, really feel like eating it, but I was still able to harvest some, like to take some of the whole plant and transplant it somewhere else. And I'm gonna leave it there for a couple of years until before I actually go and eat it. But I mean, it's been 2 3 years now that I transplanted the plant, and no matter what you get in the forest or in your garden, there's a chance that there's an animal or a bug that
Oh yeah,
or peed on it, and
that's why
that's
you
really
should
True.
clean, have a
Uh-oh.
vegetable brush,
I
rinse
just
it.
made a video today of like what's popping back up, and one of the first thing I do is like, "Ooh, that's garlic chive."
Well,
yeah. We all do it. We're all
yeah,
doing it.
There was
if
no
you
aftertaste, so I'm
Mommy, your breath smells like the litter box.
Mm. That's not good. That's not good. That's
No.
not good.
But we all do. I mean, who can walk past a bean plant and not pick a bean, or two or dozen, and now
Strawberries.
strawberries.
Strawberries
Love
never reach
strawberries.
my house. Never, ever. So I picked last year 1 pound of strawberries, and I had a little container. And that's another thing, you have to start early, perennial wise, strawberries. So I took one in, like I was eating one, two, turned around, came back, the bowl was gone. Kids passed. It's like, ooh, strawberry.
Well, they're so good.
Well,
Homegrown
funny, Mom.
strawberries are the
Yeah,
best.
no. I'm not complaining. It's just, I'm the one harvesting. So, I at least want to eat like a third of it.
Here, honey, this is how you pick them off the plant.
Yeah,
This is
yeah,
this is my mommy way of saying, get your own, kid.
exactly. Yeah, and strawberries, there's one thing I've learned over the years is I can't remember who I spoke to, if it was a nursery or a strawberry grower. He says he moves his strawberry patches from year to year. So there's years that he leaves it at the same spot, and then there's years he just kills everything, buys new plants, and restart. But I can't remember why he did that. Like, I normally just cut when I establish my patch. I cut the, what do you call those, the runners, the first year, because I want them to focus on establishing the main plant. And then the second year, I just let them bush out and have fun. Whatever's dead the year after, I just remove, and like they kind of like establish everywhere. So I had like nice, beautiful lines the first year. Now they're just like all over the place. So it's like, ooh, there's food there. Oh, I'm sorry.
I just let it go.
Yeah.
They can spread it all over the property if they want. I mean, it's food. I don't care.
Yeah,
whatever can be eaten or drank into a tea, even mint, it can spread all over my property. I don't care.
No,
I'll
don't
eat
care.
it.
Not in the garden.
Oh,
Not in
my
the garden. Not
planted
in the
in front
garden.
of the house. And the
See,
garden is the house.
I had a raised bed that I planted strawberries in, and we got some serious harvest off it. But every year I had to go through and pull the strawberry plants that and the runners that were coming out from over top and under and everything. So finally I just took the tractor and just scooped up the whole thing and moved it over to the gun range. Because it was just a pain, and it was taking over my garden. I literally had strawberries growing under my sunflowers, which it's not a bad thing to have your food growing out of control, but they're all June bearing. That's another thing. If you buy strawberries to plant, buy the ever bearing. Because
they
June
bear
bearing,
all summer long.
right.
Yeah.
You'll get multiple harvests. Whereas the June bearing, basically you get June and then it's done.
I have a hard time with everbearing because at one point I forget to go harvest them, and then I waste them. So I have a tendency of going for more varieties that are spring, and then nothing during the summer because like my head's all over the place. And then if I could, I would have late bearing strawberries somewhere else.
Yeah.
But I do have pine berries this year. It's going to be the first year that I have
Those
pine
are the white
berries.
strawberry looking.
Yes. So I bought 3 plants and 8 bare roots. Out of the 8 bare roots, I had 1 that took, 1 or 2. And the 3 plants I bought at it's in Ontario. Lynn suggested me for the orange mint. Anyways, I bought it from there, and 3 plants become like, I let the runners go because I wanted a lot of them, and I think I have like 50 now.
Nice.
So I'm gonna have a problem because I have a grow bag that's 36 inches wide, and I cut the runners off last year, and I established like a 3x3, so that's 9 foot, so about 20 feet of those, but I still have the mother plant that like multiplied like crazy. So I don't know that's gonna do, but I'm hoping to have a couple of pine berries.
Nice.
Because they do multiply a lot.
You're free to bring some to the conference if you want, if you have too many.
Well, I just realized that we're 10 days before conference. So
I know, right? It's crazy.
So I have 2 options. I can either focus on, because this weekend I have my course, and then I have to study all weekend, and then the week after that I have some homework to do and focus maybe on the stuff I want to bring for the conference, or transplant everything for April 30th, May 2nd, and like be so exhausted at the conference.
Yeah.
I don't know. I might do a mix of both. I know you requested some baby
raspberries.
Yellow raspberries. None of them are popping up, so it's early.
Yeah, you might see. Well, you'll have 10 days. It might still pop out.
Usually by now, it was like way warmer last year at this time, so they were popping. So I could do what me and Marilyn talked about is I could cut some very well established babies of those plants, raspberries, and I can mail them. Usually it could probably survive 3 to 4 days. So I would like drop them off at Canada Post on Monday so that at least you get it by Friday.
Yeah.
We can try that way, but I don't know. They're not
Oh,
popping up like last year.
I know. I bought some last year at the end, like at the end of spring, early summer, because they were on sale. I planted them, and I'm pretty sure when I looked today, I saw them. So they're still there. They're still up. They should still be alive. So it's just a matter of waiting a few years until they spread out like crazy. Because I had a lot of raspberries. I purchased a plant at Walmart, and that's probably like back in 2015. And at the end of the summer, it looked like a stick. It was just like a stick coming off the ground, and it really looked dead. And I figured, I'll leave it there, and whatever happens, happens. Maybe the roots are still alive, and it will come back. And it did come. It did come back, and it came back, you know,
With
in
a
stress.
vengeance.
Yeah, because first year I had like, oh, cool, 2 plants. The next year it was like, oh, like 7 plants. And then suddenly I turn around and like, boom, they're all over that area. I have like a few apple trees and a few like alders that I have to cut. Um, but it's just all over. It's nice
I
though. Like
find that
raspberries.
raspberries is a faster result of berries. So
Mm-mm.
when you buy a plant at a nursery, usually it's a year old, 2 years old if you're lucky. And the prime time of raspberries for me here was 3 years. So
Hmm.
after like the year two, had like a little bit of berries, but year three, I had like a lot. And now like I have to rip some out and like donate some to other people because I have way too much. Like I need to control the population of my raspberry because I can't keep up. Although the birds don't touch my garden, so maybe they eat those berries.
Maybe.
Maybe. I know I had to paint a bunch of rocks red and put in my strawberries because
Oh yeah,
you
I have to do that this year. That big
beautiful.
rock is like no longer red.
Well, yeah, I do a lot of little ones
Yeah, no, it's
because
an
then they
inside
see
joke.
the red and they go down and they peck at it and they're like, "Oh, that's no good." Because
Yeah.
I had such a beautiful strawberry and I picked it and I looked under it and birds had eaten half of it.
I have an
Oh,
inside joke with Marilyn. So she told me that trick about the little stones. So I asked the kids to paint some stones red. So I told them, find stones the size of a strawberry. So Emilia understood the assignment for sure. And she made like strawberries and they were so cute. Philip is not that artistic, but he still managed to found rocks. But Citri took a rock this big. So Marilyn said to me, "That's a suicidal rock for birds." So they would see that big strawberries and like dug for it and like boing.
Well, they say dress for the job you want to have. I
Well, he
guess.
he did show up 100%.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
now I have to repaint that rock red because like it washes off over the years. But I'm keeping that rock in that garden.
Absolutely.
So I'm gonna ask the kids to do that again. Paint some rocks red. At least this time smaller because I don't want to kill birds.
we're talking a lot about fruit, so I'm gonna stay on the subject for a couple more minutes before we head to Patreon.
Sure.
Maybe we can switch to plants on Patreon, herbs and stuff.
Yeah.
But Marilyn, I think you're the one that told me a couple of years back, or maybe last year, about the honeyberries, the ASCAPs, about
Yeah.
how they take about 4 years to establish.
Well, for me, everything that I plant take 4 years to establish. So it could be an apple tree, a scap, or strawberry, it will take no, not maybe strawberries, but all shrub and trees will take 4 years to establish.
Because I have some. They're probably at year 4 this year, but I don't know if it's because of the winter we had. It was a crazy one, by the way,
Hmm.
but don't seem that big. And I was looking at pictures online about what they should look like, and they're basically like 4 feet tall and like really huge. And mines are just like little skeleton, like 2 feet high,
Hmm.
foot
Yeah,
wide.
mine are maybe 3 feet, 3 feet by 3 feet. But they are now. When did I establish my food forest? Was it 2019?
So it's been about 5 years, 4 or 5 years.
Yeah, and it was they were a stick. Were a stick in a very small pot, almost dead, and kind of, I have to. I
I
think
think
I
I
have to
lost
prune them,
mine.
but
Mine
I
has
don't know
cats.
how.
You lost yours?
Yeah, so I transplanted mine last year. I had six, but Fred missed my marker for my last bed, and he parked a couple of times the tractor on top of the snow, and they were like maybe this tall. So they don't look very strong. Some of them have like the root and then like a little thing like that, and then whatever's on top is like so frail and fragile. So I have no idea if those will survive. But I did order one Aurora and three, I can't remember
Or
the name,
Oreo.
um, gem, indigo gem.
Hmm.
okay.
They're arriving this week, and I'm not going to do what I did last time I ordered from Vizzy. I'm going to up pot them right away because they're coming in plug trays that are 2 inch.
Hmm.
So they're going to dry up like almost right away. And they're leaving from Vizzy. I think it's Prince Edward Island.
Yeah.
So like they travel from like a lot. So I'm not going to leave them in plug trays. I'm going to put them in 3 gallons right away and maybe like
A lot of
transplant.
water too.
Yeah, a lot of water. Well, there's an instructions. I'm gonna follow the instruction, and I'm probably also gonna get. I'm not gonna wait for the end of the season. Like maybe get another variety. So have like Aurora, Indigo Jam, and another one to all of them cross pollinate in all. And if it's mid season, to find another mid season so that they all can fruit at
Mhm.
the same time. Because I really want to have Haskap blueberries. For the life of me, I can't grow them. So
I
They're
can't
hard to
either.
grow because you need to have a very acidic soil,
I
and
have
it's hard.
one. I have one that's as tall as me, maybe taller than me. So I was able to get one tree of blueberries, but I don't know what it is. So I don't know what other variety to get so that they cross pollinate. So
Yeah.
I either maybe find someone that sells mature bushes that they're getting rid of, and I can just like buy three and have three different varieties and cross my fingers that they can all cross pollinate.
You should have talked to Patrick. He just got
Yeah.
enough hill.
Oh my
Yeah, I
God.
saw that.
Full back
That
of
was
his pickup.
crazy.
I saw that.
It was
That's a
full.
good deal. That's a good deal.
But the question though, like, is there such thing if you have the space? Is there such thing as too much perennial
Mm-mm,
fruits?
mm-mm,
No.
no.
No, because the worst you can do, the worst is going to happen if you have too much. You can sell it or give it away,
I think,
or make
That's
jam or
very weird.
jelly, pies.
okay, let me rephrase that. So, buying everything the first year, that is too much
Yeah.
because you're probably going to waste your money and not have enough time to take care of it. But wait, let me finish. What I believe in is to start, like example, you decide on strawberries, asparagus, and blueberries the first year. Work your soil, prepare your soil because it is you need to prepare your soil for blueberries, you need to prepare your soil for raspberries. So I would establish like maybe 3 crops the first year, and then maybe invest like instead of like 3, like buy 12 or 15. And then the year after that, like bring in currants,
Mhm.
and then maybe raspberries, different
Blueberries.
colors, and then add on so that you don't waste your time and your energy. Because I bought so many berry bushes. They're still in pots. They've been in pots for like so many years, and I still don't know where to put them.
I'll buy
Like
them from.
Yeah, that's a problem. When you begin that with the perennials, and I think we'll finish with that, you can't stop buying or planting more. You
more.
always have a hole somewhere that, oh yeah, it can fit there. And
Yeah,
What is
yeah.
your favorite game as a gardener?
Seed
interest.
sorting.
Tetris. It's like, oh, there's 5 inches there. If I scooch this one a little bit left, oh, okay, so now I have 8 inches. Oh, something fits there.
Yeah.
And strawberries are ground cover, so it can go everywhere. And
Yeah,
something,
yeah. The strawberries will grow around that,
yeah,
and
no problem. You have
I
to.
actually use my raspberry plants as intimacy fence.
mhm.
So at one point, I cannot harvest all of my berries. So I just let them grow until hard frost comes, and then I just cut everything. But that gives me intimacy from the backyard, so the back end of my property, and my front part. So when I in my garden, I can be my PJs if I want. Certain
It's
areas I
a shame it
can't.
doesn't work on cats.
No, it
Thorns don't
doesn't.
work
No, it
on
doesn't.
cats.
No, I found cat poop yesterday in my raised beds. I was so angry.
Oh,
Especially when it's not yours.
I don't
If
have
it's
a cat.
your cat, it's your fault. But I mean,
I don't have a cat.
oh,
My
the
Exactly.
neighbor.
cat's not hers. I was about to say, why would she poop in her own garden?
No, 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 no. I don't have that May 1st naked gardener poop in my raised bed thing going on. It's not my style.
so if you want to know what her style is, follow us
Yes.
on Patreon in a couple of minutes.
Yep,
Yeah.
we're gonna head there now. Because right now we're getting into the busy season, so we're all getting tired, which is really weird for me because I sit on the couch most of the day. But but yeah, we're starting to get outside, the fresh air and the garden, and so we're gonna cut a little bit short. I figure this time, like the 47 minutes that we've been on YouTube, and then 45 minutes on Patreon. But it's jam packed. Like on Patreon, you are about to learn. What were they about to learn?
Others plant.
Plants.
Other
Yes,
plant
we're going to
and
Herbs.
go into perennial plants.
water things.
And yes, what Annie's thing is.
Uh-oh. So I have the pressure of saying what my thing is. Ah, shoot.
All right, see you there in a minute.
See y'all later.
Bye.